Welcome back to Norfolk for the 2018 Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference Football Media Day. Joining me now, the elder statesman. Can I call you that? I don't want to call you the oldest coach, but we'll say the elder statesman of MEAC coaches, Buddy Pugh. Is that all right?
I don't really know how to spin that, Jay. I'm just kind of seasoned a little bit, but I am getting old, so I guess you can say that. Yeah.
You've been around the block a couple times, so and I want to say you've seen this before, but 5 new head coaches in this conference. What does that mean? How do you look at that? What's your approach when you got so many new head coaches?
Well, I guess it means that this is a hard job to keep. I don't think about the new guys. I think about the old guys and who was here last year this time. But now, it's a fun profession. Everybody wants to do it. And, I'm looking forward to seeing how these guys do this year. I hope they don't do too good, though, Jay, because the last thing I need under my circumstances for a bunch of guys to come and playing.
Having success right away.
And getting after South Carolina State that way.
Oh, I think one of the fun stories we always share when Coach Pugh, when you were in that. I remember when you were in that position, brand new coming over there, and you say you had to learn a lesson. Who taught you that lesson that year?
I had a whole bunch of lessons, but now Alvin Wyatt's still, whipping me, from time to time. So those guys were all, real good to me when I got in the league. And to be perfectly honest with you, it's a fraternity of sorts. These guys always look after each other, and we try to, especially when our guys are playing outside the league, try to do everything we can to help each other. And, eventually you're going to need somebody. So you better have some kind of relationships with these guys because at some point or other, it'll come to play.
Gotcha. Buddy, we got to talk. What's going on with the Bulldogs, man? What's going on? We say Bulldogs used to bite.
Yeah.
They would bite all the time, and they would fight you to the end.
Yeah. We fought to the end last year. We just didn't come out on the right side of leisure. We had some opportunities to be, I thought, pretty good, and, it just didn't break our way. I can tell you that I've had good teams with lesser personnel, and I've had bad teams, with great personnel. I guess last year's team fell into that category. I thought we had some of our better returning personnel, and it didn't turn out that way. So, we've got to get back to the basics of making sure that we do a great job communicating, coordinating, discipline-wise, all the little things that you got to do to be a good football team. We got to mesh well. We got to love one another. We got to do something to give us a little bit of a different kind of edge than we had last year because that team last year did not get the job done.
Do you all have the talent level? I mean, that's the thing that you talk. I know you made some coaching changes, things like that. Is the talent level right there on this roster right now? Because you've seen it before. Is it good enough to compete for me at?
Well, we're not as good as we've been for sure. We've had better people, around. I don't know if we have better personnel, but at the same time, I think that we've got decent enough places and people in places to make this thing come together. We need to play better up front in the offensive line than we did last year. We need to play a good bit better, at the quarterback position. That might be the signature position of all football programs. And, we think that we've got guys there that can fill the bill that way. So we've got to make that happen. If we can make those 2 positions happen in particular, we're not quite as talented as we've been on defense in years past. We've got to make sure that we, cross all of our T's and dot our I's there to be the kind of caliber team that we've been. But at the same time, if we go out and do what we can do as a program, with our off-season condition and those kind of things, we think that gives us somewhat of an edge to be able to come in and play really well from the very beginning.
Yeah, so I guess Javon Hargrave ran out of eligibility. But, what are you going to do about the quarterback position? Are y'all going into camp with a full quarterback competition?
Well, we're going into camp with a lot of quarterbacks. Now, whether or not the position is going to be open to, everybody will be determined. I'd like to think that we'd have, our old guys come in and have a little bit of an edge, on those younger guys. But you never know. Dwan Ford was our starter last year. He's returning. We've got Tyrese Nick back. Tyrese was one of our freshman recruits last year. We've signed 2 other kids. We signed a kid from down in Charleston. I don't know if you remember Cleve McCoy from back in those days. We signed another guy from his high school, Corey Fields. Okay. He took them to the state championship last year. They didn't win it, but we've got another kid on the other team that did win it from that same football game. So, we've got good enough personnel. We think that we can get those guys, competing pretty good. And we've got another young man. We signed 2 quarterbacks in this class. The 2 things that I want to make sure that I I got with 2 quarterbacks and 2 kickers. so we got 2 guys to try to see if we can make a PAT, and we got 2 guys to see if we can create a PAT. So if we can get that happen, if we can make that happen, then we got a shot.
That is true. That is true. Something tells me if you find a quarterback, Bulldogs will come back in a hurry. We'll see if it all plays out on the football field this upcoming season. That is the head coach, the legendary head coach of South Carolina State football, Buddy Pugh. Coach Pugh, thank you so much for being here. Best of luck to you.
Thank you so much, Jay.
And we'll have more from the 2018 MEAC Media Day when we return.